Welcome back to the Octave Leap Trading Series. In this video, we're going to talk about support and resistance and why is that important? Well, these give you the levels when to buy and sell your cryptocurrency, Forex, stocks, whatever you're trading. So last time we covered the trend is your friend and we showed you how to make profitable trades. Now we're going to show you when to get in and out of trades. And to do this, I've got my good friend Nico with me today. So without further ado, Nico, why don't you take it away on support and resistance?
Hello, everyone. Good to be here again. So yes, after going through candlesticks, after going through identifying a trend, now we are going to be looking at identifying support and resistance. Those are going to be very, very important to start a trade. To identify zones where you can start your trade, when you can open, when you can enter a position. So let's have a look right now at our chart. Okay. So if you can you see that drawing here?
Sure can.
Yeah.
It's a
okay.
piece
Great.
of art, abstract art, modern art.
Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, this drawing is. We're going to start on this drawing just to have a first approach on how you identify support and resistance. Okay. So to start with, what is a support and what is a resistance? Okay. Support, like the word says, is gonna support the price. Okay. Which means that when the price is going down to this line, okay, there will be a sort of help. Let's say the price is gonna tend to stay and to bounce off this level. Okay. Resistance is the exact opposite. Okay. Resistance is against that price. Okay. The price has difficulties to go above this line. Okay. To pass this line and to go higher. All right.
And why does this happen? This is fascinating. It's sort of like
Yeah.
the thing you're charting has a mind of its own.
Yeah, I think it's the general psychology. Is a
Is it what
general
Carl Jung
psychology.
calls the collective unconscious at play in the market?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's it
Fascinating.
is what
You're looking at a mass psychology project right here, drawn by a very famous modern artist.
Thank you. I'll take that. So the idea is, yes, it's mass psychology. It's everybody sees the price testing again the same level that it tested before, and usually there is a move that's going to happen. It's going to either bounce off of it or it's going to break through. Okay. Most of the time, it is going to test this level multiple times before it breaks through, and that's why we're going to use this to open and to enter our trades. Okay. So what's happening here, for example? Sorry.
Said cool. I did want to add too that is it kind of like, if you're smacking ice, like if you're an ice fisher and you're breaking the ice to drill a hole or something, is it like the more times you hit it, eventually it's going to break because it gets weaker?
Yeah, that's a very good image. Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
Or when you lock yourself out of the house and you have to break the door down, first hit, you can hear it shake. Second hit, third hit, the door goes flying open.
Yeah, so, sometimes it happens. Sometimes the door is going to break first hit. Okay, and same thing can happen with our price action. But probabilities, again, we always work with probabilities. Probabilities are that when a price been tested multiple times, it's going to retest, and after a while, it's going to break through. So if it's been tested a couple of times, probabilities are maybe that price is going to be tested a third time or fourth time. But the more it gets tested, the more the probabilities are going towards a break of this test, obviously. And that's what we're going to use when we trade. So, for example, on my beautiful drawing here, you can directly identify various levels. So you've got the first one around there. Okay, so that's going to be our main resistance on this beautiful drawing. Okay, then you can identify another level here that's been tested multiple times. okay, here. So that's going to be, let's say, our major support on this zone, okay? And then you've got different zones here. So from here to there, let's assume that it's touching here, okay? Here you can see something interesting that's happening, is that what was before a resistance became here a support, okay?
I believe we call that the SR flip.
Yes.
That's the crypto lingo or the trader's lingo, but when support and resistance flip their roles, essentially.
Yes. So most of the time they will, okay? Most of the time a support is going to become a resistance after it's been after it's been broken down, or resistance is going to become a support after it's been broken up, okay? So you can see.
The other thing I noticed too here, do we have major and minor levels for support and resistance?
Yes, we do. We do. We do have major, minor levels, and that comes down mainly to when you're going to identify support and resistance, you're going to look back. Okay, you're going to look at what happened in the past, and you're going to see it's going to be fairly obvious. A major level is going to be where the price went a lot of times, and when there is always been big price action, big movements around this zone. Okay, and then you will have minor support and resistance, which are going to be a bit closer in time, which will have less testing, let's say. But that's, it's after, with time, you can identify that. The objective here is we're not going to go too much into minor, major support resistance. We're just going to start by identifying support and resistance. And then as we get trained, as our eye is getting better at it, then we can start talking about minor, major support resistance.
Right. It was interesting, just to bring a practical example, was Bitcoin hit a high price in 2017 of about $19,600.
Yes.
And then on its recent way down in June, it did break below that a couple times, but it kept coming back and testing that level. So that level formed quite a significant support.
Yes.
That it tested, I think, 6 or 7 times. It finally did break lower, and then it came above it. But for months on end, that level was basically like the floor of the Bitcoin price.
Yeah, exactly.
That support level went all the way back to 2017.
Exactly. That's a major one, because it was an all-time high at the time as well. So the thing is, you can see as well on Bitcoin at the moment, it's very obvious. You can see that that level is acting as a sort of magnet. Okay, so the price keeps like coming down to it, and sometimes going under, but it very quickly usually bounces back to it, and then go back above, and then comes back to it. It acts as a magnet for the price, which means that the price got some how do you say, it's got some momentum. Sometimes it goes through but comes back very quickly to it. And that's been very obvious over the last 4 or 5 months, even a bit more now. 4 months maybe. Yeah. So that's the main thing. That's how you identify those supports and resistance. You can see here there is another one. Okay, here you can talk about another one where it became, when the resistance, got broken, and it became a support. And then after that, we'll see what happens. But when we are here, then we can say, if you talk again about major and minor, okay, we can actually say that for now, for this drawing, this line up here is going to be a major resistance, okay? And you can assume that this line down here might become a major support, particularly if just before that we had something like this happen, okay? And that was our previous all-time high, let's say. Okay, previous all-time high. Yeah, almost. So yeah, this drawing is just here to help us just grasp the how you identify those support and resistance. And now what I propose is, let's do it live on our chart here. Okay, so let's have a look at various levels. This chart is Atom, okay, and Atom is a trade we're actually at the moment in. That's a trade that I posted on our Discord.
On our Octave Leap crypto community, which if you want to trade along with us, the link is in the description below. I highly recommend it, especially if you want to learn trading while you're, trading alongside experienced traders. And, chances are you'll be making more money than you'll be losing money when you're working with people who have more experience, but no guarantees there.
No guarantees. No, the idea is there. That's why we are doing this. But obviously there is no guarantee because markets being what they are, the only thing we can do, and to the best of our abilities, is just to work with probabilities and identify opportunities, trading opportunities, with our technical analysis. And support and resistances are going to be a big part of that, a huge part. Okay. So let's have a look at our chart here. On our chart here, I mean, very quickly, actually, you can see that at the moment, the price is around something that's been tested multiple times, okay? That's a price that's been tested a lot. And here I'm looking at lately, I'm going back to May only, but just in that period, it's been tested a lot, okay? So first, let's start with our major one, which at the moment, okay, I'm not going to go all the way up there because it's quite a long way for now. But let's look at something a bit closer to our actual price now. And here, around there, you can see that something that's a price. It's around, okay? I'm going to start by tracing some lines as well on TradingView to just a shortcut to trace a line. You can use Alt plus H, okay? So you position your cursor here and you do Alt H, boom, and you've got a line, okay?
And it is that line. What's helping you to guide the decision is the fact that it either runs through the top of the candle body or the wick, correct?
Yes. So the idea, the way I do it is, obviously we're on the daily chart here, so you're gonna then adjust your support and resistances by going down into a shorter time frame, okay? But at the moment, I'm just looking at the daily. So I'm just positioning some lines, and then I'm going to adjust those by actually identifying zones, because support and resistances, they are not an exact line, okay? We are more talking about a zone. So in the first step, I'm just drawing a line where I feel like I'm touching quite a lot, as many candles and wicks as possible, okay? Where I could see that the price just reacted strongly from this zone, okay? So here we have one, here we have another one, and up here it switched, okay? Here it became a support once, twice, then broke it down again, okay? And then it became a resistance again after that, okay? So I'm looking at this.
Another thing is sometimes what affects the probability of something's going to break down might be news in the world, for instance, in the world economy, what governments are doing with regards to, or central banks are doing with regards to interest rates, what inflation numbers look like. So sometimes those can have pressure that will break levels. But it's interesting that if something does crash on bad news, let's say, it usually crashes into a support level.
Yes.
Or likewise, if it pumps very strongly after good news, it will pump into a resistance level.
Yeah. And here you can see, I mean, yesterday was a good example of that, okay? And you can see it, I was expecting, to be honest, I was expecting this to go a little bit lower to come to this level, okay?
You're hoping for that, so that juicy trade would have closed out.
Yeah, we would, but it stopped just a bit before, but that's okay because it's still there. I mean, we will talk about patterns as well, and here I can see another pattern that I will talk about in the next video. Actually, our next video is going to be about identifying candlestick and trading patterns. But let's have a look a bit closer. So here we have our first line. Okay, we're gonna make that a bit better by identifying a zone just after that. Okay, then I can see another line. Okay, I could I can see something in the zone. So here I would like to touch this one, but that was, if I look a bit before, I'm gonna have that around there where I'm touching. I want to touch this, I want to touch here, I want to touch that zone, and those two here and back here as well. Okay, so I'm gonna have something around, something that needs to look something around that zone. Okay, so that's gonna be another zone for me that's very important. And you see that the news here went boom and then went straight back above that. Okay,
So it broke, and some traders would have gotten scared, but you
yeah,
always have to watch, does it stay below, does it confirm below that, or does it bounce back up fairly quickly?
yeah. So that's important to look at that as well. That's another zone for me. That's around the price action. There is another one which is fairly, which will be fairly big as well, and that's why I was thinking, okay, that's gonna be in this zone. Let's say 10.2. If I want to touch this one with it, yeah, that's gonna be around there. Let's say around
By the
there.
way, Nico's taking a short position in Atom,
Yes.
which means that he enters the position at a high price and then closes the position at a low price, and that's what earns him profit. So he's actually trading in the reverse way. And we'll do a video on longing or buying versus short selling. I think that'll be very helpful for people, because we don't always have to make money off of upward movements. We can actually make money off of downward movements as well.
Exactly. So that's the beauty of it. You can make money when it goes up or when it goes down. But again, you can lose money when it goes up and down as well. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that one's
So you
better
have
than the
to
other.
and then we could put another level down here, but I think those three levels here are going to be already very good at the moment when we look at the price now. Okay.
So let's talk about this trade. So you entered roughly around there at the top level, that resistance
Yeah.
level. You
Yeah.
took your first profit at the middle level,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
You took
Yeah.
half the
Around
profit
here.
there. And then your next target to take profit is that lower line. So
Was down there, which I was
yeah,
hoping we would touch right there, but we didn't. But I'm still confident in this trade. I will see. At the moment, we're in a very interesting place. I'm gonna have a look, but the thing is, the trade now is a win. Okay, whatever we do is a win, because then for me, we just brought down our stop loss to our entry. So whatever happens, worst case, if it goes back to our entry, we still make a good win, because 50% of our position will have made a 10% win. Okay, already. If it doesn't go back to our entry and is bounces off this level and goes back to test this, which I really believe it will, then it's great. Okay, but it's a winning trade already, so I'm happy with that.
great.
We could add more. I'm considering that, but I'm really looking at that for now. Now we are at a very interesting level now.
Totally.
But that's a bit more advanced now. So let's stay with our support and resistance at the moment. Okay. So for now, what I want to do is I want to make it a bit better. Okay, lines are okay, but I want a zone. I really want a zone, because I'm going to be looking at trades in a zone, not at an exact line. Okay, because that line, I can have false signals with a line. It can go above it, and then I think, oh, it's gonna go, and then boom, it goes back. So I want a zone, and then of that zone, I will want to make some very specific rules that I will apply to enter my trades. Okay. So for the first zone here, the idea is going to be to zoom maybe into a lower time frame, okay, to have a better visibility of what is the price doing for that zone. All right. So let's just move down one time frame, go to the 4 hour. Okay. So 4 hours, if you remember the first video, here each candle is going to represent 4 hours of price action. Okay. So if I look at that now, I have a better view of what happened each time the price came to this zone. Okay. And what I'm going to look at basically I'm going to look at what was the previous, okay, the previous big swing that happened before where we are now, okay, and the previous big swing where that price was a big resistance is going to be around there, okay, for me, because it really went through and then you have a big impulsive move down, okay. So when I identify this zone, I'm just going to just draw, so you can use the square here, okay, rectangle, and you can draw your zone, which is going to be around that. So I'm going to take that zone from the top of this week, okay, and down to the open of this candle, right? So that's going to be, it's one way to identify a zone, okay. You can use different rules for that, but when you are trading, you want to, if you found a rule that's working for you, just and makes you open and close good trades, then just stay with your rule. This is mine. It's not the best way, or it's one way to do it, okay. So this is the way I do it, and then I will have a zone that's going to look like this, okay. And now you can see that actually candles went into this zone, okay. They went into this zone, they closed into this zone, but it's quite rare when they closed above this zone, when they broke through this zone, okay. It happened once here, okay. All the rest, it's wicks or candles closing into this zone, okay. So the important part here is to identify that first zone. So that's going to be one zone that we will be looking at, okay. And then the other zone that we will be looking at for trades, apart from the middle zone here, is going to be our main support down here, okay. And here I'm going to apply pretty much the same rule, okay. So I'm going to look at where did it bounce off fairly dramatically, and I'm gonna use exactly the same rule, okay. So here we go. You can have a look at that. Let's identify a zone. I'm gonna have maybe this. I'm gonna have a big bounce, okay. So I've got various bounces here. This zone is gonna be a bit more. So what I'm gonna do on this zone, I'm gonna use a technique that will take as many wicks and touch as possible from the top part of my zone, okay, where I see that the price really bounced off on a 4-hour, okay, which is going to be around this zone, and you'll see that it will coincide with that. So if we look at this, I'm going to adjust it a bit after that. And then for the lower part, I'm going to take this part here, okay. So let's say that's going to be our zone. Maybe the top is a tiny bit too high. I want to basically position here. That seems good to me, okay. That will look like a good support zone. I'm going to extend it, okay. Extend it to where we are now, right. And now you can see that actually our wick here just touched the top of that zone, okay. Just literally just played with the top of this zone, but didn't go in the zone. Okay, so that's it for our zones now, okay. So to identify the main support resistances, you will want to look at positioning your lines, and then you want to adjust and creating those zones. For an easier way to look at it, you can use different colors, okay, on your rectangle here. If you double click on it, you can first identify the exact coordinates, so the price of the top bottom part, okay. You can put a text. You can say you can literally just say, well, that's gonna be our support, okay, color, everything, okay. And then you can change the color, so border, you can put it in green so you have a better view, okay. Because what's going to happen is from here, there is a higher chance that the price is going to bounce off and go up. So I like put it in green, so then it gives me a long signal, okay? So it gives me a price is going to go up from this line, a buy signal, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the zones. Okay.
Wow. That's such a straightforward, methodical approach to identifying support and resistance and to creating our zones where that's those, they're more likely to land in, because let's face it, doesn't always hit the specific level or price target. So it's good to have some flexibility in there. And that way, if there's some volatility or moving around, you can close a trade early if it's in the right zone, as opposed to hitting the line precisely.
Exactly. So it gives you a lot more, it's much easier exactly to open and close your trades without always looking at an exact price. Okay. Obviously, when we give trading signals, we give an exact price, right? But the exact price is, if you want to set it up automatically, you have to choose a price, because while you're asleep, sometimes it goes to that price, and it's better to have an automatic order that's gonna close your trade and make you profit, instead of waking up to the price going to what you wanted, and then you wake up here and you're like, oh, missed it.
Yeah. Great.
So
Thank you so much, Nico, for this trading wisdom and education today. And for anybody watching this, of course, we have a Discord group where we do lots of updates on market news, trading, and you can trade along with us. The link to that is in the description below. Nico also offers one-on-one trading. And so if you want to book a discovery call with him and basically have trading that's tailored to your exact needs, we also have a link to that in the description below. So, Nico, anything else you want to say before we close for today?
Thank you. Yeah. Just same thing as usual. Come and share, come and talk with us in the Discord.
Yeah, we're a real friendly bunch. We joke around a lot.
Yeah. We it's good, and it's good to share our experiences. Everybody comes it from a different perspective, different point of view, and there are some trades. For example, yesterday I missed an entry for a trade, but some people in the Discord, because I announced them before, I said there's a setup that's happening here, and I missed the entry myself. But some other people managed to enter the trade, so they are in now, and it's good. It's good to see that, just by giving them a bit in advance as well, like that, we managed to have to rake some gains, actually, to have some gains in the Discord. So it's very nice. And as well, I offer the one-to-one sessions, meet you where you are, on a meet you where you are basis. I offer the 15 minutes discovery call where we can have a chat together. It's free. And the idea is to have a chat together and see where I can help you take your trading to the next level, or start trading as well. And next video is going to be about candlestick and chart patterns. And in that next video, we're going to start looking at how we enter a trade, because we're going to use some of those candlestick and trading patterns to enter and exit our trades as well.
Awesome. So if you found this helpful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and check out the playlist with all of the trading videos. We try to upload one every week. And so if you're watching this sometime in the future, you will have a whole library of trading education waiting there for you. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Take care. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.